Well, hello there. This afternoon, I'm going to try to transplant this snake plant, I believe is what the name of it is. It's a house plant. I've had this for a few years. It came from, I think it was my mother's house. And she passed away, and me and the brothers got some of her plants and things. This is one of the ones we got, and as you can see, it is barely fitting in this pot. So I've read that you can divide these up and put them in separate pots and have 3 plants. So I'm going to try to do that. So I'm assuming the first thing we're going to do is put some dirt in these 2 new pots. So I have this small yard dirt that I'm going to start with here. We also have a little bag of potting mix. So I'm going to pour some of this in. I'm going to do kind of maybe a 50-50 mix of the potting soil and the old yard dirt. So something like that. Which that's the easy part now. You gotta take this thing out of here. And I guess, divide it up. Cut it into thirds and stuff. I don't know, I've never done this before. Honest to God, I don't have much of a green thumb. I tend to kill more plants, I think, than I save. I like planting trees and stuff, but they don't seem to live. Most of them don't. Man, there's a goddamn worm in the bottom of this thing. How does a worm, this thing's been in our house for years, but there's sure enough a worm in the bottom of this. Multiple worms in the bottom of this. Okay, that is very strange. So now I'll take a chunk, I guess. Damn it. Guess I'll take a chunk of these. Kind of break them off into thirds, maybe. All right, so there's a chunk. I can go in here. Now I'm just gonna fill Not quite sure how high I want this dirt before I put this in. Maybe something like that. That way they'll sit up just a little bit. There we go, something like that. Now we're going to backfill. Now it's just a matter of filling up these pots with our soil. And I'm using some of the dirt I got from the yard, some of this potting mix. Because this is some Miracle-Gro potting mix, so it's supposed to like feed the plants nutrients and stuff, I guess. I think I'm happy with that. So there, yeah, just replant the damn thing. We'll see if these live. I'll give them a little water, take care of them, the normal stuff. Now we'll do this other pot. These are 11-inch planters. I've always called them a pot. I guess the official name is a planter. These are 11-inch in diameter. I think they're a good size for most anywhere in your house that you would want to put these. Mix that up a little bit. All right, so we have this part left. So we'll try to break this in half, maybe. Okay, and just kind of broke that in half. You know, it still has a bunch of roots and stuff on it, so I would assume that it's gonna grow and be happy and healthy and all the things. This bad boy up. Using that same 50-50 mix. Anytime you plant something, whether it be inside or outside, you want to hit it with some water. Get all this fresh soil moisturized, or whatever you want to call it. Put some water in it. So we're going to do that when we get it inside. And hopefully these new ones will just take root and fill up these pots like it did that first pot. So I'm going to refill this original pot with some of this dirt Miracle-Gro mix, and then throw this one back in there. You can reuse the stuff that came out of that pot. No harm in that. Just trying to get these things to stand up, you know, in an upright position, kind of making them pretty. Shit. All right, so for two 11-inch pots and then this original, which this is probably about 11 inch as well. So for three 11-inch pots, we got the 8 quarts Miracle-Gro potting mix, and then a bucket of dirt, probably a half of a 5-gallon bucket, maybe 2 gallons worth of dirt. That's even a measurement for dirt. And that's it. And I'll give you an update later on in a few weeks or a month or so, and let you know how these things are doing, so that way you don't follow this and have all your shit die. But it shouldn't. From what I can see with these is they're really easy to take care of, these snake plants. I don't water them as much as I should probably, and they live and they thrive and they look really good. I like them. So if you got a plant that's busting out of this container, grab you a few containers. These are pretty cheap. I think they were about $9 a piece at Home Depot. And and just transfer your shit, and then you can grow more plants. No need to buy any when you can just split them.